And go.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Enginerdy Show. You didn't give me the normal countdown, so I was caught off guard. So, alright. Welcome to the Enginerdy Show.
This is going on YouTube, so...
I know.
I'm St. Jimmy.
Oh, I'm Mr. Pole.
I'm DVD.
Do you want to know?
What's this new accent?
I don't know.
But maybe because the play that we watched.
Oh, I saw a play!
Yeah, we saw
Put
a play.
that in there.
That's all fancy and stuff.
Before the show starts, we're all sitting here. What did we do this past week? We knew there was something.
Our big
yeah.
sponsor this week is Dr. Salt for when Mr. Pibb isn't cutting it anymore.
It's made with real seawater.
Now with higher sodium.
Are you on a sodium-free diet? Well, stay away from Dr. Salt. Are you a slug? Do you
Be
feel
careful when
sluggish in
you're
the
ordering
morning?
Dr. Salt. Make sure you say, I want a Dr. Salt, not I want a salt. Because
You don't want Dr. Salt. Assault, sorry.
No. Because if I put you out, then who knows what they're going to do to you.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Artificial desalination.
Artificial desalination. That sounds horrible.
There's probably
Uncomfortable?
plants that do that.
Uncomfortable for sure.
To the point of death.
Yeah.
What
Need
happens
salt?
when you just drink too much water?
I almost laughed to death today.
Hydrophobia.
Oh boy.
Were you a tune?
No.
You're a weasel.
Don't tell people.
Weasel, sorry.
Oh. No, I was listening to my Jim Gaffigan station on Pandora.
Like one
And-
does.
Brian Regan came on, and even though I'd heard this bit several times in the past, it still got me, and I was laughing so hard I almost blacked out.
Was it a shave and his haircut? 2 bits one?
No. It was the one about the plural of ox is oxen. Brian, what's the plural of box? Boxen. And it just goes downhill from there.
I don't believe that is the plural
oxen.
What's the plural of moose, Brian? Moosin? Anyway. But I survived.
That's good, because otherwise you wouldn't be here, or you'd be
That's
haunting
true.
us.
Yes. I'd be haunting the podcast.
Oh, he's real.
Plus we can see him on the podcast, or video thing.
He could be ethereal,
I don't think so.
non-corporeal,
Nope.
Hyperboreal?
aurora borealis.
Solarable?
Oh wait, Mumble was in that last
Oh, that
week.
was last week. Can't mumble. Don't mumble this week.
A beaker?
So I went hiking this past weekend.
Why?
You took a hike?
Because I like hiking,
Don't you have a
apparently.
car?
Well, you'd have to drive to where you're hiking.
What? That doesn't even make sense.
What, you want me to hike all the way to where I drove? Took an hour to drive there. Imagine how long it took to
Can't
hike
you
there.
just walk near your house?
They don't have waterfalls near my house.
You have a
That
sink,
sounds-
don't you?
It's not the same.
Like you don't have a shower?
It's not the same.
Okay.
These waterfalls I don't get naked under.
You're doing it wrong then.
Yet. Wait.
That's only in Hawaii.
Oh.
What?
What? Not in our home state of Zimbabwe. There's too many people around here.
Zimbabwe was in the show I was watching.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well,
It's a real
It was
place.
a coup. Yeah, apparently.
Just kidding. I know it's a real place.
That's not near Israel.
what's the capital of Chad?
I can't pronounce it. It's got an N and an apostrophe and a DJ, EMN, EMA.
That's how they tell if you're not from the country. Maybe we should
I
switch
think
our capital.
That's a city in Civ 2, isn't it?
Is it?
For the Zulus?
Oh, possibly.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Maybe the United States changed their capital so that it's hard to pronounce and only Americans can pronounce it, and then they have a litmus test.
Somebody misheard the country Botswana as Botswana. And they're like, Botswana? I'm like, no, it's Botswana. It's the
It's right next
country
to
just
Djibouti.
north of South Africa. The capital's Gaborone. I'm like, I think I've said too much.
What's the currency?
I don't remember.
Is it near Djibouti?
No, it's not.
Djibouti. That's
Mhm.
the capital of the country.
Yes. It's near Yemen.
Yeah, man.
Yemen.
I have to apologize to those.
I don't
So-
think they have many eyes there. I think those would be like further south.
What the heck are you guys talking about?
I think they're from Madagascar.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I
Can we talk about golf?
I
Sure,
went
let's
to play
talk about
golf
golf.
today.
What, you
So
played
that-
golf
I
today?
left from work early and went and played golf.
Did you use sunblock this time?
I didn't.
Did you get
I don't know. Did I
horribly
look
burned?
burned? I don't look burned, did I?
Where did all your skin go?
Oh, I'm skeleton. So I got there and they're like, "Oh, we have a discount today because did anyone tell you about the course?" I was like, "No." Apparently they just salted all of the, or not salted, sanded.
We don't want to do the whole grass thing anymore.
They sanded all the
salted
greens.
the greens.
So when the sand the greens,
So now it's all the sand crap.
you can't putt. Some of the holes didn't have a hole anymore because they filled with sand.
Well, that was poor planning.
Yeah. So basically what you play is once you get it onto the green, you count just one extra stroke for putting. And then you move
Wow,
on to the
I
next
wish
one.
I could putt that well.
I know. I should have done way better than I did at that. Shot a 112, which is not very good. At 310s. Occasionally I just couldn't hit the ball. It's like, I don't think I've ever picked up a golf club in my life. Other times I hit some really nice drives. I outdrove everyone else a couple times. One was going to be a beautiful drive, so they cut the corner and then it hit a tree and shot probably like 80 yards
Whoa.
diagonally backwards across into the rough on the other side of the fairway.
It was deliberate.
Anyways, it was fun though. I enjoyed myself. At least it wasn't at work.
I saw some funny golf fail videos today.
There's some good ones. I threw my club only 3 times, so it's an
You see,
improvement.
I went disc golfing and I threw my disc like every time.
You're supposed to, I think.
Why is this in my hand again?
I
Ah!
got like a 79, I think.
I tried disc golfing, but I couldn't get the ball to fly very far hitting with that little disc.
No,
My back
you're
hurt
supposed to hit the
afterwards.
disc with your club.
Oh, get like
I don't think
4
that worked
tees.
either. I can see a lot of T's.
Talk about a hole in one. I don't know.
You'd have to get one of those strip tees.
You're such a tease.
It's like, so last Saturday I did not work overtime, so I didn't go to work.
Oh yeah.
It was
You
weird.
can do that?
Like you can. I actually got up a
Well, I
little
know
bit.
I can. I never.
Oh,
You know, yeah. I
Got up a
heard
little
the
bit
other
early than normal if I sleep in. So I was like 8 or 9, and I jumped right into building my shed. So the way I designed the shed is I have pier blocks, 4 of them in the corners, and I have 4x4s coming off of them.
You shouldn't put them in the corners.
And so I leveled each of
That's
those
what
and made
every
them
other
square.
block is doing.
What?
Should have put them in the middle of the wall.
If your pier blocks jumped out the roof, would you?
Talk about peer pressure.
Exactly, soil pressure in the pier. Anyway.
Wait, they're not down here, they're up here.
Right. So I wanted to do that because I didn't want to have to try to level in relation to each other, the piers, because my ground's not level.
Mm-hmm.
So by sending 4x4s up off those as like posts, and then could run my supports to those.
Appears to work.
It does. So I had my kids help me dig holes for the piers.
Did you peer into the holes?
You did, apparently.
Can you make fun of them in front of their peers?
No, but Pierce Brosnan was there.
Oh, he came and helped.
Oh.
So I went out and looked at it, and they were not. And I put some like some lines, string lines, that were 90 degrees to each
Put a
other.
line between them.
I did because my fence is not anywhere close to being level or square. There you go. Or level. It doesn't matter.
Octagonal. Anything like that.
So I had to move all the piers a little bit based off one. So I did that with 3 of them, got them all lined up. actually backfilled some of them so they'd stay where they were supposed to be. Got to the last one, I had to move it over like 18 inches diagonally, and I started digging and I hit clunk. And so we'll move over here, clunk. I hit this boulder. It was probably, I don't know, 36 inches, and maybe 12 on the top is what I uncovered,
Mm-hmm.
and could never find where it curved back.
Hmm.
So it's probably just the tip to a huge boulder of some kind,
Wow.
right where my pier block needed to be. Which, so I made a decision to move the pier block along the long side of the shed, maybe 12 inches, got me past it, and so that one corner is cantilevered past the post. I was thinking about putting a diagonal back from the very corner back to the post, but I think 12 inches is probably fine.
Yeah.
It's the back corner of the shed. I think it's gonna be okay. And then so basically right now I have the foundation ready to go, ready for the decking to go on.
Cool.
And I did it pretty much all by myself.
Nice.
Sans help.
You could say he was peerless
Yes. Without here.
with lots of sand helping him.
Sand?
Sand help.
Sand help.
Oh. Assaulted help. So I just got to buy in. Unfortunately, we're hitting in our rainy season here in Zimbabwe, coming up soon. So I probably shouldn't get the decking and put that on until I have 2x4s and roofing materials to cover it up.
Hmm.
Well, I guess I could put a tarp over it. That'd be
Yeah,
fine.
you can tarp it.
That worked in The Martian.
Yeah.
Not really, but
It doesn't rain in Mars, though.
it actually
Or
didn't
on
work.
Mars.
It ripped off the top of the spaceship.
Oh, that's
Spoiler
right.
alert.
That was an exciting part of the movie.
Yeah, it was.
I should see that again.
You got any other banter?
No.
Should we move on to nerdy culture?
Let's do it.
Okay, have
It's
I
not
got
a movie this week.
a treat for you? I've got a
I like-
quiz.
I like a
Oh,
treat.
boy.
I like a quizzes.
You like a quizzes, huh?
I do.
So, what the quiz is going to be is we're going to be talking about the origin of different companies' names.
Oh.
So I've got 10 questions.
Oh boy.
I'll take turns asking each of you a question.
Okay.
If you get the question right, you get 2 points.
Oh,
If you
there's
get it
points?
wrong, the other person can steal, and if he
Ooh.
gets it right, he gets 1
Oh
point.
my.
You have a pen?
No.
Is there a way to keep track of points?
You planned for
I
it.
do have a pen.
You could use your phone.
My phone?
We could do it on this.
Okay.
Oh, perhaps I do not.
We could go like
I do not have a pen.
D and J.
There
And
you go.
then we'll put tally marks.
Whoa.
And if neither of you get it right, then I get 3 points. How about that?
I have to
That's
put
weird.
you on here then. There.
Alright. I just came up with that idea. Alright, the first one.
Who's going first? We flip a coin or something?
T-Viddy, you go first.
Okay.
The company is Adidas.
Adidas.
I've got multiple choice for you.
All day.
Oh, you mispronounced it for me.
A. What? How do you pronounce
Adidas.
it? Adidas. Huh?
That's a German pronunciation.
Really? Is it German?
I think so.
Interesting.
They have
All right, what are the options?
that word.
All right.
in the Philippines.
A. Name for the founder, Adi Dassler. B. Name for the god of victory. Or C. All day I dream about sports. Acronym.
Second one.
Name for the god of victory?
Yep.
False. Your chance, St. Jimmy.
I'm actually wearing Adidas shoes and socks right now.
Awesome. Do you need the 2 choices?
No. I'll go with the first one.
You are correct, sir.
Yay.
It is named after Adi Dassler.
Hmm.
His first name and the first 3 letters of his last name.
So in the Philippines, you can buy on the street,
Mhm.
some places,
Fake
a
ones.
food called Adidas,
Oh,
and it's fried chicken feet.
yummy.
I did not
Are
try it.
they wearing shoes?
No.
So actually, the company that's named for the god of victory is Nike.
Oh, that's right.
So
It's pronounced Nick. Oh, Nike.
Nike. Could be. All right, St. Jimmy, your turn. The next
Oh, did I
one,
get 2 points for
You got
that?
1 point.
Oh.
Because you.
You stole.
I had fewer choices.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Xerox. Is it A, name for the founder, Henry Xerox? B, short for the Latin xerography? Or C, the founder liked the letter X?
Interesting factoid about Xerox. Half of lighter shade of brown, DTTX, means don't try to Xerox.
Wow.
I'll go with C.
The founder liked the letter X? That is wrong.
Oh,
Your turn, DVD.
fail.
You need the
Second one.
short for Latin xerography? That is correct.
I almost chose that.
Woo!
Darn it.
Xerography means dry.
It sounded like
printing.
a made-up word.
Now, there was a company that was named the way it was because the founder liked a certain letter.
Adidas.
Kodak.
Oh.
He
That
liked the
case.
letter K.
Oh.
And he thought Kodak would be easy to pronounce, and
So you could have made it K-Doc.
good. All right, we're tied at 1-1. DVD, it's your turn.
Well, we're
Alright.
tied. You're not.
That's true. I'm not really competing, but
No.
the number 3 is Starbucks. Now, is Starbucks named after the character in Battlestar Galactica? A. B.
Pretty cool.
Named after the first mate in Moby Dick? Or C. Named after the ship in Seawolf, third by Jack London?
B.
You are correct, sir. You get 2 points.
What?
Yes.
That
Apparently, the first mate in Moby Dick liked coffee.
Huh?
Oh.
So, there you go.
Like he liked coffee?
Liked coffee. Yeah. Anyway,
You're not saying the euphemism. You're actually like the drink.
right, the actual
Oh.
drink, yes. All right, St. Jimmy, your turn.
Okay.
Cannon. So this is like the
By
photography
Cannon. Oh, that's a name.
thing.
Okay.
A, named after the founder, George Cannon. B, named after a Buddhist goddess. Or C, Greek, meaning the unquestioned standard.
C.
That is incorrect.
What?
Although Greek does kind of mean, canon kind of means like
Yeah.
a rule.
Obviously,
Canonicals.
A.
That is incorrect, sir!
Oh, you fail.
It actually is named after a Buddhist goddess named Quanon or Quanon or something. I can't pronounce it, but it's
Kwanzaa?
similar enough to canon.
That's dumb.
Sorry. I'm not making this up. Okay.
We have no way to check.
That's true. Well, we do have smartphones. But
That's true.
we'll believe you.
So
For
it's
now.
my turn,
It's
right?
true. It is your turn.
Each of these is getting more and more ridiculous.
More and more ridiculous. What are you talking about? Okay. Haagen-Dazs. Is it A, Danish for entrusted heaven? Or B, a city in Denmark? Or C, named because it sounds Danish?
C.
You're correct!
Whoa.
It's a made-up word
Haagen-Dazs.
that was just created to sound
I
Danish.
bet they were watching the Muppets, and the Swedish chef said something, and it sounded Danish.
So, entrusted heaven is actually what Nintendo translates to in Japanese.
Oh.
So,
Oh, so.
yes. Alright. I think BBD's beating us.
Mm-hmm.
St. Jimmy, it's your turn to get on track.
Oh boy.
We're going to talk about Nissan
It's noodles? The car.
car.
Okay.
That's Nissan, I guess.
Is it short for Nippon Sanyo or Japanese or Japan Industries? Is it rising from Asia in Japanese? Or is it the Japanese word for check in the game Go?
A.
A is correct, sir. So, rising from Asia is actually what Kia means in whatever language.
Korean?
Yeah.
Huh.
And then Atari is the word that is used in the game Go.
Oh.
So, all right, next DVD,
I don't know that one.
Arby's.
Oh, I thought you were saying next.
Okay, so A, it's named for the abbreviation for roast beef. B, named for the Raffel brothers. Or C, named for Arnold Handler and Byron Matson. Get it? Which one is it?
C.
Incorrect, sir.
Oh.
All right, for the steal.
A.
That is also incorrect.
No.
It's named for the Raffel brothers.
That's dumb.
Yes, and actually,
Mr. Pole pulls into the lead.
Why did you get 3? That doesn't make
the company Mattel was named for Elliot Handler and Matt Matson. Matt
And
L. Get it?
Mattel. Yes.
Because
Clever girl.
he only has a small chance of getting it right.
Yes.
Well,
We don't have to
both
count
of
my
us
score at
getting
the
it
end.
wrong.
All right, who's next? You,
It's
DVD?
me. I'm up.
Okay, this one.
No, he went last.
Oh, so it's your turn?
Yes.
Okay, good job. All right, TCBY.
Country's best yogurt.
That was A. That is what it's called now, but I'm looking for the original
Oh,
reason it was named that. So your choices are, DVD, this can't be yogurt, or is named after the founder Thomas Carter, who was from Broadway Street in Yonkers. TCBY.
The second one.
Does Thomas Carter one?
Yeah.
Nope, that's wrong. It's this can't be yogurt. They had to change what their acronyms. So they started out as the company was called This Can't Be
Is it
Yogurt.
so good it can't be yogurt? Is what they're implying.
they're the
Ice cream.
Pretty
I
much.
can't believe it's not butter
Yes.
of the soft serve
Yes.
world.
And so their abbreviation is TCBY. Well, they got sued by some other company that was first. That was I can't believe it's not yogurt, or I can't believe it's yogurt or something like that. So they had to change. They had to do a backronym from what TCBY meant to get the country's best yogurt. Now
That seems stupid.
the thing with the guy's initials and then where he's from, that's how IKEA got its name.
Oh.
So IK was his first 2 initials, and then EA were the initials of this place he was from.
Oh, so let's do that. Let's see what other one. DMLP.
All right.
Dunlop.
I think it's
Don't
DVD's turn again.
Yerp.
Why don't you?
Reebok. Is it named after the Reebok antelope? Is it named after the city Reebok in South Africa? Or is it named for the founder, Glenn Reebok?
A.
You are correct, sir! It's named after the antelope. It's a South African antelope. I got the Glenn from Mr. Glenn Bell, who created
Bell.
Telephone.
Taco Bell.
Oh, Taco Bell.
Yes.
Ding.
All right. Your turn, Saint Jimmy. The last one is Shell. So, A, the company originally imported shells. B, it's related to how oil is found near fossilized shells. Or C, named for Shell Creek behind John Warnock's house.
B.
B is wrong!
C.
C is wrong!
What?
It's because the company originally imported shells from China or Japan.
What?
Yeah, I know.
That's weird.
So
I should have guessed that one. That's
the creek
weird
behind
about
John
that.
Warnock's house is actually the Adobe Creek, which is why he named his company Adobe.
Adobe.
That's
Alright.
dumb. So I clearly lost.
Oh. 7-3. And then we don't have to count my score if you don't want to.
Alex Trebek won this week's.
Yes, I stumped you.
Well, if everybody was negative on Jeopardy.
That was fun.
Yeah, I had fun making it.
We're all now a little smarter.
I want to thank my wife for helping me come up with the multiple choices.
Oh, what?
I actually have a board game called I don't know what it's called, but it has
Trivial Pursuit.
it's got company logos. Yeah,
Oh,
logos.
it's called Logos.
Cool.
It's named after the lesser version of Legos. Logos.
Okay. What's
So-
Legos mean?
Many legs.
I researched that. It means something about play and have fun or something.
Lego my ego. It means to let go of someone's ego. Waffle.
From the French, Lego.
Lego. French for going.
Lego.
It's
Lego.
actually-
It's French for
Danish, I
having to
think.
use the bathroom. Lego.
It's the opposite of Lista.
Lego it blood.
So I was listening to Bacon Sale podcast, and they were talking
Every
about.
time you say that, I think of a boat with a sail made out of bacon.
You should think of Kate Beckinsale, because that's
And Kevin
What does she look
Bacon.
like?
and Kevin Bacon.
She's Celine
was-
from the underworld.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, they had an episode where
She
they,
seems nice.
over the course of several months, they ate every single thing off the menu of Taco Bell. And then
Which
they
one went to the
ranked.
hospital?
None of them. They ranked the food from Taco Bell.
Like
Anyway,
we're doing with Stephen
they
King
mentioned that
Hmm.
Taco Bell was named after the founder, Glenn Bell, and I thought that was interesting. So
Yeah.
I started looking into the name.
I had
or name
no idea.
orchards. Me neither.
I will now amaze everybody I know.
Yeah,
That
that's
doesn't listen to the
strange
podcast.
Um,
This can't be yogurt. You're right. It's curdled milk.
oh. And you'll know Haagen-Dazs was named because it sounds Danish.
That is so funny. They couldn't actually pick a real Danish
That thing
word.
means pig day.
And I don't know what it is about Denmark that makes you think good ice cream.
It's cold. Oh, maybe they're taking edibles.
Usually I think of
Denmark's
something
that
rotten in
cold.
Denmark.
Isn't that where pot's legal?
Amsterdam,
That's not in Denmark. Amsterdam's in the Netherlands.
Netherlands, dude. It's
I
close.
think it's legal in Denmark too.
Oh.
Look it up.
Denmark, capital is Copenhagen.
I'll put it on your. It's where they chew tobacco.
Is that where Copenhagen?
pot legal in Denmark?
Well known for sure.
As not legal.
legal.
You're wrong, sir. You lose all your points. I win the game.
That's nothing to do with the company name.
What?
However, law enforcement is
Scarce.
scarce and arrests are hardly ever made.
Weird. That's totally different than it being legal.
True. And that's nerdiculture.
All right, that was fun.
We'll have to do some of those more often then.
Good job.
Sure. All right, for Technergy, we're going to talk about the replacement for the International Space Station.
Do you have to do it in Canadian?
Yes.
It's a Canadian company.
No, it's actually a joint venture
They're
between
going to use the moon.
and some
NASA?
horses,
and the Russian Space Agency.
They
which
should
is
take,
called
It's called
RASA? No.
they should take the S out of NASA since they
La
don't go to
Raza.
space anymore.
No, Rasta.
Since they can't send anything to space anymore, they should just be nah.
Roscosmos.
Do you guys go to space? Nah.
It's called the Roscosmos.
And
It's not going to orbit the Earth.
it'll orbit
Moon.
Mercury.
It will orbit the Moon,
Oh.
which is in orbit around the Earth.
So it's still orbiting.
Yes.
It's not a direct orbit, though. It'd be like saying the Moon orbits the Sun, because it
Which it does.
kind of.
Not really.
So they want the station to act as a
Station.
place to go to stage when you're going to the Moon or to Mars or somewhere.
The station?
Yes, a station. This is a Wired article. So,
So just drink a lot of Starbucks.
yes. It's going to be able to change its orbit around the Moon into different orbits depending on what
Have
you need. Like,
In a
if,
square orbit.
if you're probably not square, they said
So-
triangle top.
Triangular.
Triangular.
No.
Keep on hitting the surface.
If you're using it to get to the moon, they might want it in a closer orbit, or if you're using it to get to Mars, you might want it in a
Or if you need
bigger
more
Get an
orbit.
orbit large enough to include Mars.
No.
Can you get the orbit large enough that you come through the atmosphere of Earth? You can just pick something up. Skyhook.
That's called a skyhook.
Yeah.
They can change it. You know how elliptical the
That's
orbit
better
is?
than like a space elevator. You just get like a long lead coming off the moon, and then it comes to the atmosphere and picks stuff up, and then just wraps around the moon.
Like a yo-yo.
If you had a lead connected to the moon, it wouldn't move relative to the Earth.
You'd have to
Well,
really,
you have to
really
like
long,
swing it.
like
Yeah,
200,000
you put a
miles
rocket
long.
on the end.
Okay.
Self-replicating nanites.
It's basically going to have
That never goes wrong.
three
Hey, I'm reading a
three
book about that.
sections. One is going to be the power and propulsion section, where it produces electricity, but also the power to
So the
change the
PP
orbit.
section.
Yes. And then they're going to have a habitat module where the people live.
So the people from the Habitat module, they're talking to the people in the power plant module, saying, "The power is yours."
There's no people in the power plant module. They're all in the people module.
Oh, there's a people
How
module.
are they going to keep it running without treadmills? But not.
And
That's
then
not how they
they'll,
stay in orbit.
then they'll have a logistics module where they can have experiments.
This is a manpower station.
No. So it doesn't sound like this is to be permanently manned because it's not
Oh, yeah,
in
women in it?
Earth's protective field.
Yes.
So they're going to probably just send people there for like 40-day missions.
So you're saying it's a space prison.
Yes.
You're sentenced to 40 days in the
You-
space prison.
You've been bad. You must
Leave the Earth.
you must have
You're
a timeout.
Good luck with the solar radiation.
So the habitat module will be similar to the space station now, where they can just be in regular clothes
And make YouTube videos.
Yes.
Is it going to be spinning so they have gravity?
You know,
Gravity?
it didn't mention that, and I was hoping they would, but it doesn't sound like
Is
it.
that why they call it gravity? Because it grabs you?
Yep, gravity.
Gravity.
It's gonna have a robotic arm.
A what?
Just a
Robotic
arm?
arm?
I want a robotic leg, too.
Well, the current space station has a robotic arm.
Just have a robotic mouth.
Look at that.
Like
You need
in,
asteroids or
it's
something.
got a robotic arm, like in Short Circuit.
Does it have a middle finger?
Well, if
Hopefully.
it has odd number, then it looks like it will have a middle one.
So they haven't set down exactly what it's gonna look like. So
Like
Does it look like
color-wise?
Marvin the Martian?
They should paint it like a giant Coke can.
get some sponsorship.
Yeah, I think so.
Then people on the moon will buy it.
We gotta make it big enough that people with telescopes can see it.
So they're planning on building it in four launches from the new space launch system that's being developed.
By NASA?
Yep, and they're expecting it to be suitable for the first crew to inhabit by 2025.
You say NASA's gonna have a way to get their own stuff to space?
That's what the space launch system that they're developing is.
They're going to
What's
use a
it
large
do?
wooden badger.
It launches
And they're having France launch
systems
it
into
for
space. No, the space launch
Run
system
away,
is
run away.
a heavy lift rocket.
Oh.
So
They're putting this S back in NASA?
yeah, I was hoping it would be rotatory.
I think
But
it's back
It
in
doesn't
NASA.
sound like it will be.
There is a company that takes care of the building maintenance, like sanitation, like picking up the garbage and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And their logo is an S with wings on it. It's just like flying S. Apropos, I think.
Yes. So, what are you guys looking for in a space station?
One big enough
It's gotta be
for
in space.
all of the people I disagree with.
Isn't that like a lot?
One that you can say that's no space station. No,
That's no moon.
but the other way.
I wonder if you'll be able to see it
They should make it look
going
like the
around the
moon,
moon.
just smaller.
I wonder if it's going to be going around the moon in front of the moon, so it would pass between us and the moon, or if it's going to go around.
Think they'll go past the dark side?
Well, if it goes in front, it would have to go behind. Unless it like turns and comes back.
You said it has a variable path.
That would be very
Is it going to be
inefficient.
cold and dark on the other side?
So I overheard some of my coworkers
The
talking
dark side
about
of the moon gets as much
talking
sun
about
as the
whether or
light
not a werewolf would always be a werewolf if it was on the moon.
side. That is a good movie plot. There's this moon colony.
And then someone's like, "Well, what if they're only human when it's a full Earth?"
Yeah.
That'd be a good science fiction where a guy that is a werewolf goes up to the
He gets
space
bitten by a werewolf right before the
station. Mission,
launch.
yeah, his mission.
Like the day before the launch. And they let him go anyways.
I am looking for a NaNoWriMo book.
There you go.
idea. I was thinking
That's
about actually
it.
doing short stories this year.
Oh,
Short story collection.
Well,
What
that
kind of
could be
ideas?
one of them.
one per day.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like
Like
a
short
Jonathan
stories?
Colton version of
Oh,
NaNoWriMo.
That'd be
thing a
cool.
week.
Yeah, or you
Except
could
it'd
just
be a
do
day.
4. and
Because I could write ones like I wrote for that when I was mad at Sony.
Yeah.
So I get mad at stuff every day.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I need to get mad at stuff every day.
Oh.
November.
Okay.
Sounds hard.
Madvember.
I've also thought about taking last year's NACO Cremo and take each
And make a
day's and
story
make
for
a
each
story for each one.
Yeah, you could do that. Alrighty, that's Technerdy.
It's gonna be really hard with my Jedi pun or my Star Wars pun ones.
Yeah. Be fanfic.
That's the one with the TIE Fighter speed trap.
This is your segment.
Oh, my turn.
Oh, I thought we were
Um,
doing consumption.
Can you click on it?
You can't remember the news story.
I had a hard time. I was reading just a snippet of it. And it says, okay, so this is a case report for doctors or whatever. And they have a really interesting case report name. An airway traffic jam, a plastic traffic cone masquerading as bronchial carcinoma.
Okay.
So this guy, they thought he had a bronchial tumor.
Right.
And so they scoped him, and it turned out it was a toy he had aspirated. He breathed in like 40 years ago when he was a kid.
Oh wow.
So he's probably very happy he didn't have cancer.
Yeah.
He just had a
Your cancer
little
is shaped
people.
like a little orange cone.
or Lego or whatever. I think that's supposed to be funny. With airway traffic jam.
Yeah. Because it was
I
a
get it.
cone. Traffic cone. Huh. Have you ever aspirated something solid?
I was gonna say liquids all the time.
I get stuff down my throat all the
Dust, I guess, or like it's really dusty.
So I was in the Philippines and
No, I never choked.
This-
Oh, yes, I did.
this place where we
Bacon.
would always get lunch when we were in this town called Ago. They had these like smoothies, but they had these little
Lago my Ago.
squishy. They called them sago or something, but they're like palm, come out of center of palm trees. Or these little squishy round things, and
palm balls.
sometimes they get stuck together, and so you'd have to
Palm
suck
balls.
really hard to get it to go up the straw, and it felt like it went into my airway, and it hurt really bad for a while. And people were like, "You should probably go to the hospital." I was like, "Ah, it'll be fine."
You got bad blood again.
And it was fine. You know, it just went away.
Probably got absorbed. Well, when you think you have cancer later, it
Maybe.
might be that. No, the only thing I've ever was, which is why I like crispy bacon, was I breathed in some bacon on accident
No.
and about choked to death. Luckily, I was able to reach the end of it with my fingers and pull it out.
Oh wow.
Because like you hear when you were choking on something, I couldn't make any noise at all.
Right.
It was kind of freaky.
Because if
So
you
a piece
can
of
make noise, then you can actually get air.
Right.
Because the noise is air.
Oh, if you have like a keyboard or something or a guitar, you can make noise or
Oh, yeah.
cymbals.
And you swallow those?
Pull out your emergency choking symbols from your back pocket.
He's doing paraform. What's he saying? Choking on bacon.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So-
I thought that was funny. That's the news.
Don't breathe toys.
Yes. Well, I had one of my kids stuck a marble or something up his nose. And so we went to the
He's
doctor
15.
because we couldn't get it out. And we're sitting in the waiting room, and my wife looks over. She grabs a box of like surgical gloves, Like puts one over his, just takes one, puts it over his nose. Like, okay, blow this balloon up with your nose.
Hmm?
So he did, and the marble came out.
And
So
it was
they were
inside
like-
the balloon?
So like, Dr. Kim was like, we don't need any more. We're leaving. Don't charge us because he didn't actually do anything.
We were never here.
When my son was about 1 year old, he found a sticker of an eyeball and he put it in his eye.
Oh.
That's where it goes, obviously.
Oh, well, yeah, makes sense.
We were walking through the
For the
park,
doctor, makes sense.
and I stopped and went, "Oh, somebody's head is on the ground." There's a little Lego head. My daughter picked it up. I was like, "I told you not to pick up strange heads you find in the park."
It's probably good advice.
She thought it was funny. I don't know.
And that's the news.
Yes, that's the news.
Do we want to tell people about our Amazon link
Yes.
on our website, engineerdyshow.com? In the little
I think you just did.
menu in the top right corner. Should I tell them about that? Where they click Amazon.com, it
I
takes
think
them
you should tell them this
to
week.
Amazon, and then they can buy stuff, and it gives us money.
No, don't tell them. They're being
Okay.
repetitive.
All right, let's just go on to the
We
next
should make a
segment.
T-shirt that has a picture of a clock with a chain on it, so you can be Flavor Flav anytime you want.
Anytime you want.
I wonder if there's a
Flavor Flav clock
T-shirt.
Flav T-shirt.
That'd be funny. It probably is.
Oh yeah,
No.
It's already been done.
there's a bunch of
Boo.
them.
You should have a digital alarm clock on a chain.
You should have it so it's built into the shirt so it actually works.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Okay,
So have
so
Mr. T T-shirts.
a bit of the fool.
Probably.
And they will do
Mr.
consumption.
T T-shirt. Yeah.
Pictures of him.
But none of them have the chains on it. I want to make it so you look like Mr. T.
Okay. Chain.
So it has like his muscles painted on.
It's got his face.
With chains.
Well, you've found a
Yes.
niche. All right, let's go on to consumption.
All right. I finished the third book in the Dark Tower series, The Wastelands.
Oh, I thought that sounded familiar.
Yes, it's very good.
Is it a dieting book?
Yes.
No, it is. It's nothing to do with dieting.
She has to go get Zach.
All right, have fun. I can't. Tell him to get his driver's license.
Send Peyton.
Yeah, send Peyton. My son has his driver's license now. It's fancy.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so The Wastelands.
Yes.
That is in the top 2 of the best Dark Tower books
Yes.
for me, I think.
It's got Jake Chambers? That's his name, right?
John Jake Chambers.
Yes.
John the Jake.
And how he gets to Midworld from New York.
Yeah, that's good.
And then
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
it ends with a cliffhanger.
Dun, dun,
Dwayne the
dun.
Train is a pain.
Yep. So that was a
What are
good
you doing?
book.
I'm wearing a koozie on my head as a hat.
And I watched the first episode of Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, was that good?
And better or worse than Star Trek 5?
Star Trek 5 was amazing. What are
I
you
know.
talking about? It
That's
was
all.
worse.
Was it better or worse
Okay,
than
so-
Captain Janeway?
I don't mind Janeway.
On a scale from Janeway to
Picard.
Final Frontier.
Okay, so there were some things that took me out of the show.
Oh
Made
boy.
it difficult to watch. The main
His
thing
house was being robbed.
The main thing was it
The tornado.
supposedly takes place 10 years before Kirk and
Oh,
Spock.
no.
Oh boy. But way more advanced than that.
Yes,
How
They
far
have-
ahead of that was
they have
Enterprise?
a bunch of aliens on the starship in the Federation.
No.
They've got some kind of android-looking thing. I don't even know what it was, but it had some weird-looking
Are they trying to
droid
copy?
head on it.
They're trying to copy.
It looked a lot more like the J.J. Abrams Trek, even though they say, no, this is in the Prime Universe.
What?
They've screwed.
Yeah, they've screwed it up. They don't understand
And
how nerd-like
supposedly,
Star
okay,
Trek
so-
fans are.
the
Gene
writers
Roddenberry
and
is
producer or whatever say,
rolling over in its
"Oh, don't worry. By the end of the series, it'll make sense how it transitions into Kirk and
after you
Spock's
pay
trek."
for it.
How?
Can't.
They're gonna lose the technology of androids, and
No one will have ever heard of them.
yes,
And the aliens will no longer be on the ship.
yeah, they'll decide that having aliens on the ship is a poor idea.
Obviously, Q's involved.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe it's all on the holodeck.
Maybe.
Yeah!
No, that would be
Kirk
so
wakes up and it's a
funny.
dream. Kirk wakes up and it's a dream.
And it's actually William Shatner.
Yeah.
Man, that was
Kirk.
weird. I gotta
Okay.
stop doing mushrooms.
The Klingons are different, but I can kind of see how that might get explained away. Because they act different. Not only do they look different, they act different.
Do they look like humans? Are they
No.
that variant?
No, they don't. But I could kind of see how a sect of Klingons might have avoided the problem,
very
the
clearly-
genetic issue that led to the TOS Klingons, and how they might have different belief systems than the Klingons we've seen so far.
It's possible, I
And they
suppose.
might look a little bit different, depending on maybe they're from a different part of Kronos.
They're like the
So I didn't
Romulan
have as big a
Vulcans.
problem with how the Klingons looked as some fans do.
Okay.
It's just, my issue is, why can't you set it past Voyager in the future? Then you can do whatever you want with the technology and all
I
that
have a
kind of
question. Why, if you want to have something so different, can't you make your own science fiction show?
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, you could call it like
Oh, the Orville.
Nineveh 6 or something.
that was the other thing, is just, if you want it to be so different, then make your own different thing.
Yeah.
Why do you have to tie it into Star Trek?
Because Star Trek already has a fan base.
Well, and we know it's just a big money grab by CBS to get you to sign up for their service.
Which nobody's going to.
Oh, I'm not. I wasn't impressed enough with it to want to sign up for it.
So,
I
who's the,
wasn't even impressed enough to watch that.
as far as the crew goes, what's the crew made up of? Like, who's the captain?
I don't remember the names, but it was. I don't know. The characters were fine. I didn't have a problem with the characters. One of the aliens is kind of interesting. He comes from a planet where you were either a predator or a prey.
So, like,
And so his race was like a prey race, and so he's always nervous about everything, and he's like super ultra cautious about everything.
that'd be great material on a military vessel.
Well,
Exploratory vessel, I guess.
I don't have a problem with that.
It's like the
It
Berkeley.
seems like it was like a special thing that Spock was like in the Federation, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Was there Vulcans on the ship just everywhere?
there was a human gal that was raised by Vulcans. In fact, she was raised by Sarek. Supposedly, she's a step sibling of Spock.
How many step
What?
siblings does Spock have?
That we've
So
never
they're
heard of.
claiming that
Well,
Sarek's
think
wife
about it.
was
We didn't
married
know
before?
Cybok existed.
Right.
No, like an adopted kid. She's not Vulcan at all. Has no
I
Vulcan.
guess
in her.
Sarek loves
She's human.
humans so much that you'd have a kid that's.
So
That's
Sarek's
why-
in the episode quite a bit.
Who do they have playing Sarek?
I don't know.
Some dude.
It's not Mark Leonard because he's passed away.
It's not Leonard Nimoy.
They had him appear as a hologram, like Star Wars type hologram, to converse with the character. And there's
So the next series is going to be set between the Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. They're going to have technology even more advanced. than
See, and
this.
so I understood that our technology, even when I was watching Star Trek, was already ahead of TOS technology.
Yeah.
But the way I was able to think about it was, okay, so Earth had this huge war, you know, in the Star Trek timeline.
Right. There's the.
And there's the augments and all that kind of stuff.
I wouldn't mind seeing a show set in that.
Yeah? Like.
With what's his name? Khan and all those guys. That time period. That'd be interesting to me. But try to find
Anyway.
another thing where you can shoehorn it before all the stuff that's already happened.
Well, an Enterprise
Just
was,
creating discontinuities throughout
Enterprise
the
was
entire
set
thing.
before TOS, and they did a really good job with the tech.
This
and-
is why time travel is bad. You set up all kinds of discontinuities throughout time
Well,
after
this-
that.
This has nothing to do with time travel.
I'm saying, well, this is like the creative version of time travel.
Oh.
You're setting yourself up for failure.
Well, and see, prequels are always hard because you have a set material that you have to work up toward.
Like, you can see why
And it seems like they've totally just thrown
why
that out.
Roddenberry put the theatrical device of the transport into Star Trek when you go back to Enterprise. And they're stuck with just, like, shuttlecraft and stuff.
Anyway,
So, should I watch it?
go
Is it
ahead and
gonna
watch
make me
it.
upset?
But I had a hard time getting into it because I was so thrown off by.
It's going to be like
All this
thinking you're
high-tech
sitting
stuff.
down to watch an NFL game and then halfway through realize you're watching Canadian football. Why do they keep on punting us third down? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but
Interesting.
either place it further along in the timeline, because that worked for Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a new thing in there with all this new technology looking stuff, but it's set further in the future than the original. So I don't know why they couldn't have done that.
So
Unless they're like, oh, there's some story that we just have to tell in the period where humans and Klingons started interacting again. I don't know.
Enterprise is
It
when they
doesn't-
first met Klingons, right? That was when they first interacted.
Yes.
In fact,
the
the
broken bow or
iconic,
something.
yeah, the iconic first scene.
In
I
the
love that of the Klingon running through a cornfield.
Yes.
Like, the crap?
So this takes place 100 years after Enterprise, and apparently they haven't had any contact with the Klingons in that time.
So how much time is between Enterprise and TOS?
110 years, because
Yeah.
This
this
is 10 years
was
before?
10 years before TOS.
Oh, so I watched it with my daughter, and she also had a problem with the uniforms. They didn't look enough like the TOS uniforms, but I'm like, well, those kind of uniform changes happen all the time, you know. I didn't have a problem with the uniform stuff.
They usually look more advanced as you go
Yeah, but
along.
in TOS, wasn't there flashbacks to stuff that happened
Yes, there was.
before,
Right.
and their uniforms were similar?
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
So
to
Kirk would
just-
be in, let's see, 10 years before, he was probably like an ensign or something, right?
well, he became a captain really fast, like
But like
less
it-
than 10
In
years.
his 30s, though, probably.
So he probably wasn't even in Starfleet yet. Anyways, wow, that was really nerdy conversation.
I
As
thought
it should
might
be. I kind of want
I
to watch it just so I can pick
I
it
almost
apart.
made it my nerdiculture, but
Oh,
Okay,
well,
again, this works.
if you want to do that in the future, we could all watch it.
Should we rate it on the
well, I
Stephen King scale?
I didn't know it was going to come on. My daughter was like, "Hey, can I come over and we can watch the Star Trek premiere?" I'm like, "Okay." So she came over and we watched it.
I wasn't planning to watch it, so
I kind of wanted to watch the pilot, but
It probably wouldn't hurt you to watch it. I don't know if you'd
afterwards I'd probably want Monster Eat the pilot.
I don't know if you'd be annoyed as I was.
I probably would be more annoyed.
So I finished the first season of Ajin, the Demi-Human series.
Yeah, that's really good.
It is so good. I recommend it. You can watch it in English or Japanese with subtitles. You
I
can
recommend
watch
English.
either way with subtitles, but if you watch it in English with subtitles, they don't match up exactly to the English that they're speaking, but it's good. It's about there are people that are Ajin, but they don't know it until they die and they regenerate. And that's how you know you're an Ajin. You come back to life.
And then what is an Ajin?
It's somebody that can't
The,
permanently die.
Oh, okay.
And then some of them are
Like
variants.
Jack Harkness.
He's an Ajin. Well, there are some variants that actually most of the ones in the show can control these black ghost monsters that
Not the
I don't
pink
think
ones.
people can't see them, right? Except for other Ajin.
normally people Normally, normal people can't see them, but sometimes they can. But it's really good. I started season 2. Season 1 has really good music for the opening and ending, and season 2 I don't like the music as well.
Well, part of the funness of the show is usually you'll have like the main character have super special abilities, where this one is Ajin and just doesn't listen to him.
Yeah,
It's like
he's not a very good Aji.
he doesn't control his ghost very good.
Yeah, it's
Basically
really
does
good.
everything he doesn't want it to do.
Yeah, for a while it just does. He controls it by saying
The opposite of what he wants it
to be like, move, and it stops, and that's what he wanted it to do. So yeah, it's good. Watched a show called Salem. I watched the first season.
Witches?
It's about witches in colonial
Oregon.
Salem.
Oh.
So,
And the witches, there are witches in the show.
oh,
but
okay. They're real witches?
They're real
Which ones?
witches, yes.
It's interesting the dichotomy, or the difference between the witchcraft scare in the United States. Everyone talks about Salem, where not very many people were prosecuted, and the tens of thousands of people that were killed as witches in Europe.
It's,
Yeah, everyone talks about Salem when really that was like, it's like talking about 3 Mile Island and talk about nuclear problems.
Actually, 3 Mile Island's an example of how nuclear
It goes
power
war-
how
is
yeah,
safe
safe.
it is.
Right.
Yes.
No one died. It wasn't really.
Of all the countries that have had nuclear plants fail, ours was the safest.
Well, it proved that we had safeguards in place that could protect you.
Interesting. Was it good?
It's pretty good.
Is it on Netflix?
It is. I'm into season 2 a bit, and
Is there any characters or actors I've recognized?
probably the main dude looked familiar to me. I don't
Was he a
know.
witch?
No.
Oh, okay. They're not
Um,
Harry Potter witches, are they?
no, they're bad witches. And I finally saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh.
We were laughing so
It's very
hard when Rocket goes, yeah, we were saved by this little man. He was like an inch tall. And they're like, what? And he's like, well, if he'd been closer, he probably would have been bigger. Like, yeah, because that's how eyesight works, you stupid raccoon. It was so funny. And Baby Groot is
He's good,
hilarious.
Yeah,
It was
I
good.
like that.
I recommend it.
I liked it a lot. I think I liked the first one better.
Yeah, I have a hard time ranking things, but
We know.
and I've tried this new barbecue sauce I like. It's called Rufus Teague. Touch of heat. It's not. It actually isn't very piquant.
Heat.
So I don't know why. Well, they say
It's a touch.
yeah. On the bottle, it kind of says yeah, it's hot, but not too hot. You know, so it's a
It's not like
Kansas City style, really thick, not really sweet. So it's good. I recommend it. It comes in like
Excellent.
a flask-shaped glass bottle.
Weird.
All right.
Well,
That's
but
you.
I watched a. Let's see. This has been recommended to me on Netflix for a while. It's called What Happened to Monday.
I've heard about that.
My wife was actually started watching it.
My daughter watched it.
I was laying in bed and she was watching it on her phone in bed. And the first part, I was like rolling my eyes because they're talking about overpopulation. And there's 10 billion people on the planet, and the planet can't support that many. I'm like, do the math.
That's why we genetically modify crops.
It doesn't even require me. That helps, but it's not really necessary if I even feed the population we have now. Most of the problem is geopolitical. But then it is in the future past that, where they passed in Europe, it passed a law basically where you're only allowed one child, and they take any siblings of that child and they
Incinerate them.
they put them in
Labor camps.
freeze them and store them so
Oh,
that
yeah.
someday they can.
So they aren't killing them; they're just delaying them.
I was saying that. Yeah.
Like
So
turning them
there's-
into popsicles.
In this
I am a
world,
meat popsicle.
I think the dad was a doctor and his wife was pregnant with septuplets,
Ooh,
So 7?
my.
all
Uh-huh.
girls, identical.
Identical twins.
So
That's
she
not how
died
it
in
works.
childbirth. I know.
Oh.
Well, if they're siblings, maybe they can look close enough.
Well,
But,
if you had 7 kids inside you, you'd die too, wouldn't you?
I definitely would.
so
I can only eat like 2 or
Willem
3
Dafoe
at a time.
So, are you a witch? So Willem Dafoe is their grandfather in this.
Oh.
So he takes the
Johnny
girls, and they have
the goblin.
in this silver crowned thing. They have a pretty nice sized like penthouse apartment, where he raises them and he names them after the days of the week, which helps along with the plot. Where
Is their middle name Happy Days? Oh.
No, but they should name their middle name Day, and then they could just be Mun to Win.
Hey, Mun. Go to Witness.
So when they get to be, I don't know, 10 or 11 years old probably, he
They
then
need a
allows
son.
them to go out into the world from the apartment as their mother's name, Carol or something. Karen. I don't remember what it was, but so they pretend to be that person, and they come back and then tell their sisters about it. So Monday goes out. Tuesday
clever.
goes out.
Dude, I
just
would
get
want to be definitely the week. on the
Saturday or
weekend.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So the really, really smart one is Friday, I think. And so she helps them the most get their promotions at work and whatnot. But then Monday goes missing during the plot.
Oh boy.
And
So what they get for switching to a
science fiction
4-day-a-week schedule.
action
Yeah.
show. It's good. I'd recommend it.
The person or Friday's like, can we work 4 10s?
So obviously they can't like hold down a relationship.
Right.
How would that work?
I thought of this, like, what if you had a clone and you like would work 1 week and then give them a turnover and they'd work the next week so you could have a week off every other week?
I don't think
nice.
they'd like you at work.
Or a robot to just do your work for you all the time.
Well, that would be different, but I was thinking like a co-op.
That's how we
Life.
prevent robots from wiping out humanity. You pair a robot to a human, so that human uses his robot for work or whatever, and then he gets to use
I've heard of a guy that hired somebody to go to work for him.
How does the employer handle that?
I think the guy got found out, but
You got fired twice. You're fired. Well, guess what? You're fired.
So they gotta look the same, and so the rules they set up is they're allowed to be their own person while they're in their apartment.
Yeah.
But then they have to look the same. So a lot of them wear wig, or they all have to wear. I think one of them has the real hair, and then everyone else has to have a wig.
All right,
They're not
everyone's
like-
got to look like Thursday.
But because I think it's Monday actually.
Oh.
But they have advanced technology, so every morning when they're getting ready, I stand in front of a mirror that evaluates them and tells them what they need to change about their appearance to look like Karen Stedman.
You're
or
too
whatever.
short today.
To show you, I mean, some of the psychological stuff that goes on. When they're young, one of them sneaks out of the house and comes back and is like, I think skateboard or something, but got in an accident in that. Was missing the tip of her finger. So he
There's
had to,
Get the scissors.
pretty much, all of them had
Nice.
to have the same finger deformity. So I recommend it. It's a really good action movie. This could probably be part of my nerd cred because my wife was watching it and I was accusing her of watching a science fiction show. I'm not sure if she finished it because I had to leave to go coach a football game before I got to see all of it.
Because it's a movie, right?
Yep. And I had to go back and watch it later.
That's like the Prestige. The finger thing. Yeah.
And then I watched. So the Kingsman 2 is coming out.
Yes.
So I wanted to watch the Kingsman. So I watched it. It's really good.
Oh.
It's got Samuel L. Jackson as the bad guy. It's a very good action flick. It was really well written. I thought well acted. The action was really good. So check it out.
Cool.
Then we're watching a Amazon show called Strike Back. I've talked about it before, but I'm farther in. It's basically about a military special forces unit, like British one. But one of the guys that works for them is a disgraced American, like special forces soldier. So there's 2 operators: a British guy, Stonebridge, and then the American guy. I can't remember his name is. But they work together.
Oh
no. But it's really good. It's got really good action scenes. right?
All right.
Cool.
Let's do some nerd cred.
Let's do it.
So I've been watching Star Trek: The Next Generation,
Yeah.
and for some background, I have an Alexa device.
Yeah.
And I have it programmed so it responds to the word computer.
My wife won't let me do that. I tried.
But you're watching
And
a
it's
show where they
hilarious
say computer.
watching Star Trek: The Next Generation with Alexa.
Because every
Time it's like, computer,
it turns on.
calibrate the warp engines, and the Alexa's like, I'm sorry, I don't know how to do that. And it's just like every time I just laugh.
You know, I was thinking earlier because I was using my Alexa, and I was like, they should program her in for certain things like that. Like,
Yeah.
it should know that you're watching Star Trek, and it should say funny things.
Yes.
I usually only say one thing to my Alexa. I say, Alexa, play David's Mariah Carey station from Pandora.
Well, I was actually
That's all I
today
do.
listening to Pandora using the Alexa.
I don't know. I use it to listen to my Amazon.
And
Yeah, I
something
don't
I've
listen to my Mariah
discovered
Carey
that I
as well.
can do is, this just occurred to me, I wonder if it'll work if I do this. I said, set a sleep timer for 1 hour. And it's like, okay, we'll turn off in 1 hour. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, we've got had a daily alarm for when one of my kids is supposed to leave the house to go to school. Do that.
Yeah, so now I can listen to music as I'm falling asleep, and then it'll shut itself
I didn't
off.
realize my wife was using it for news until I switched it to do sports news.
Oh.
And she got kind of upset because apparently she was using it for news in the morning.
Well, I also use it to find out the weather.
Yeah, I use that for that.
I have this thing called a
Is
window.
it raining? No.
Actually, what I do is I check my phone for the day's weather because I have to know whether I need my rain pants
Weather?
or
Yeah, I just ask it, what's the weather today?
Is there weather or not weather?
not. There is not weather today.
Oh
It's
no,
a
the atmosphere's gone.
Stay indoors.
All right, that's my nerd cred.
What? You're doing it? Good. It's your turn.
Koozie puppets.
It'll make sense if you are watching YouTube.
So I finally have a kid that can drive.
Yay!
This is not the oldest one.
It's about time.
I've got two.
I told him, "Come on, it's your turn to learn how to drive." My oldest one.
My kid just
He has a
runs
car
over
that doesn't
picnic
run yet,
tables.
so I think he'll get more excited when his car's running.
Mm.
But he does have a job, so
Yeah, so when's he going to start buying car parts?
we need to actually. He has his first paycheck, and we need to go buy his first battery. Or my first battery. My interstate. He wants the interstate battery. He told me.
My
Oh,
battery, my battery and me.
So I gotta find. Their batteries are not cheap,
No.
so that'll be probably most of his paycheck.
And, I guess he has a core, so.
He needs to buy
Yeah.
a battery.
Battery. And then we gotta go through the fuel system
Yeah.
because hopefully there's no fuel in it.
I'm going to be dealing
How do
with
you-
the same thing.
How do you clean out a fuel tank?
You
Don't put water in it, right?
You put small rocks in it and swish it around. I don't know.
Gravy.
My friend Google knows.
Judges.
Alexa, how do you clean out a gas tank?
Whoever's Alexa just told them something, email it to the
Email the Enginerdy Show at enginerdy@gmail.com.
Okay, Google. Put an interstate battery and email it or send it to. Yes. He has asked to confirm.
I've never used mine to order anything.
Oh, and I went to a play.
Mine just orders parts for warp drives and stuff like that.
Did you like the play? I really
Did
enjoyed the
lithium
play.
crystals show up in
Oh
the mail?
yes, Stevie and I and our wives went and saw a
I
play
really enjoyed the
called
acting.
Mousetrap
No.
by Agatha Christie.
My favorite one was the red herring character that was just really strange.
Yes.
There's a couple of those, but
So we could have gone with you if I had seen your email sooner,
Oh.
but we had
communication
my
failed.
daughter's friend spending the night that night,
Mhm.
so we couldn't go. We were bummed, but
Well, you can go to the next one. We're gonna go see another one.
okay.
There's a
Mousetrap 2.
We were wondering if it was going to be like the game Mousetrap. We're like,
I've
is
only-
it going to be a cage?
I think the only reason I knew that Agatha Christie wrote that type of novel was because of Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, because he meets her in one episode.
Right.
Right.
Right. It was really good. It was really well written. I liked it had a really good twist at the ending that I jokingly called during the thing.
So how does that theater work?
You show up,
pay money.
No,
like
like,
sit in the seats, and
And they have
is that
play.
a traveling play, or are those people from here
They're from here.
and they
Yeah.
get paid to do that? Or is it a
Um,
community theater where
It's a community theater.
you
I'm not sure
volunteer
if
to
they
be
get-
in the play?
I don't
Because
know.
I've been in
I don't
plays
know.
before where you just volunteer. And then
Pirates of Van or
Penzance.
Penzance.
Yes, I was a pirate.
I'm not sure, but the acting was really good.
yes, especially compared to most of the other plays I've been to have been high school plays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, other than school, my kids' school plays, which they don't really do plays. I don't think my kids have ever done a play. It's usually a musical thing or something. I think the last time I saw a play was probably one of the ones I saw at like a Renaissance fair in Texas. Outdoors, like a Shakespeare.
I remember seeing like
Shakespeare in the Park.
Fiddler on the Roof, like
I've
in
never seen that.
Oregon.
We were like, hey, get down from there.
So it had been a long time since I'd seen a play.
Hmm.
It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It felt really cool to have someone. The only people they're giving that performance to is just the people there.
Yeah.
It's very. And I got to wear my fancy shoes,
They were
and
very
my-
fancy.
my fancy pants.
I didn't notice how fancy your pants were, but
I had like some designer label jeans that my wife bought me at the not full price, obviously, at Marshalls. That she reminded me I had. I forgot I had them. The shoes are very fancy. They're
yes,
slippery on carpet.
I
Those
could
ones.
see my reflection in them.
They're
Wow.
shiny. But it was a good time. I liked it. Now I'm going to be more fancy in the future and watch more plays.
More fancy.
More fancier.
All
Maybe
right.
I'll have a feast after the next one. I could have a
Yeah.
fancy feast.
You could. All right, our final segment is feedback. We got a couple of likes on our website from
Whoa.
some other blogs. One is called Lookup, where they turn your digital content into a physical book and ship it to you. Like, you could put all of your blog posts into a book, or all your pictures or something.
Cool.
Your pithy Facebook quotes or something. I don't know. And
I'm
one
going to
called
make a pithy one. I'm going to have a picture of a pith helmet.
XKickZ is like a self-help motivational type blog.
Do they think we need their help?
No, they probably just like other people's blogs so that you'll like them back or something.
I should start a company that motivates cows.
Get moving.
Mood.
Are you in a bad mood?
And we've been getting lots of nice shout-outs from our pod friends. Like,
Nice.
Cool.
I was listening to a several-week-old episode of Mavs, and they mentioned Master Zed. And then I was listening to STV when you guys were on there. Span the Void. So, yeah, I should probably say the full name of the podcast. Matt and Andrew versus Society. And Span the Void.
We were on, the one where we were.
We've had them on our show,
Mhm.
and I know I've been on their shows.
Right.
Oh, Span the Void is where you guys were on their Facebook
Right.
Live.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't
And
remember being
they're
on
like-
Span the
I know,
Void.
I couldn't remember either.
Like,
Yeah. we-
said your name, they're like, you mean
Yeah.
this? No, that's definitely doesn't say that. It was funny.
yeah.
Like, and who's this guy?
Yeah.
Well, they mentioned all four of us
I was
because
making fun.
then they're like, well, I know who this guy is that has that last name.
I think they thought I was Master Zed for a second.
They did, yeah, at first, because their
But they're like,
names
wait,
start
these
with
are
the same
puns.
letter. It was
Stop
funny.
the
So
punishment.
thanks for the shout outs, guys.
It's kind of fun to be in. I don't know. I enjoy our podcast little community of
Pod friends.
pod friends.
Yeah.
Makes me feel like a whale.
Uh,
Join our pod.
if you want to
my
contact
web voice.
us, send an email to engineerdyshow@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter. You can go to our website, engineerdyshow.com, where you'll find our Amazon.com link, which is working. It wasn't working a few weeks ago.
Oh.
It is now.
Okay.
I had
Our Amazon link
Put
will help
in
you save
the-
your Zelda.
I had put in the. For some reason, it put in like HTTP at the beginning twice. That's why it wasn't working. So I just had to get rid
Weird.
of that, and it started working all of a sudden.
Imagine that.
And thanks for listening this week. Stay nerdy.
Live long and nerdy.
You have been and always shall be my nerds.
Oh, snap.
Except for you nerds that like the new Star Trek.